Thank you.
The legendary Motörhead frontman and bassist died after a short battle with cancer. He was 70. His bandmates announced his death on Monday. Ian Lemmy Kilmister found out that he was suffering from an extremely aggressive form of cancer just days ago, on December the 26th. He died at home with his family in Los Angeles. Originally from Stoke-on-Trent in northern England, he was known for his hard-living lifestyle, as much as his distinctive style and massive influence on rock and roll. Before joining Motörhead, he was a member and sometime vocalist of the band Hawkwind in the 1970s, described by critics as one of the biggest counterculture freak bands of all time.
I think what Lemmy leaves behind is somebody who was quintessentially rock and roll, somebody you can measure rock and roll by, because it's an indefinable thing what rock and roll is. But when you think of Lemmy, his persona, his voice, his bass playing, his songwriting, the sound of him and the sound of Motörhead, you got something that is actually pure, undistilled rock and roll.
You lose, but gambler's for fools, but that's the way I like it, Dave.
Tributes have flooded in from fellow rock stars, Metallica, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Former Black Sabbath vocalist Ozzy Osbourne tweeted, "Lost one of my best friends, Lemmy, today. He'll be sadly missed. He was a warrior and a legend. I will see you on the other side." A message from his bandmates: "We'll say more in the coming days, but for now, please play Motörhead loud, play Hawkwind loud, play Lenny's music loud. Have a drink or few, share stories. Celebrate the life this lovely, wonderful man celebrated so vibrantly himself. He would want exactly that."
This is Jack Cousteau from Motörhead. This is the underwater version of heavy metal. So heavy, I mean, look at the Titanic. That was heavy metal, bottom of the sea. Same as we are.
It sunk. The Titanic was so heavy, it sunk. Anyway, I'm Filthy Animal.
All is in the fuck war, see? He's fighting for more fuck. Translate that and stay fashionable.
Johnny, by the way, Lemmy, nice to meet you. Thanks for sitting down with me.
That's okay, I was sitting down anyway.
Timing. Now, how many members of Motörhead have come and gone through the years? You're the only static one, right? You're the one.
And we've had one bass player, 5 guitar players, 3 drummers. That's it. It's not bad.
Not bad for how long?
33 years.
Fuck. And you wrote, what, Mama, I'm Coming Home for Ozzy? Is that right?
Yeah, I did 4 songs on that album. I did Desire, I Don't Want to Change the World, and Hellraiser as well.
Mama, I'm Coming Home, is that, would say, your biggest hit that you've written as far as, like, money-wise, that you got the most money off?
Well, I didn't get money off. I got money off it, but it was a straight fee. Sharon just said, write these 4 songs, put some lyrics on these 4 songs, I'll give you X amount of money.
Is it? Wow. Pretty tough negotiator.
No, I was happy to do it. It took me about half an hour. Yeah.
What was your relationship with the Ramones? You wrote the Ramones song, right?
Yes, yeah. We were friends since '77 when they first came to London, you know.
When
I was hung out with Joey and Dee Dee when they were in London, yeah.
What's some fucked up things happened on stage while you're playing? Has there been like crazy stuff? What'd you do?
See the scar?
Yeah.
That was a razor blade in between 2 coins to give it more weight, taped up, thrown at me. Hit me on the first song.
There was all this red on the stage. I thought somebody had a blood capsule, so I realised it was pumping out my hand.
Yeah, you don't. When you get cut with something super sharp, you don't even feel it.
On stage, you don't feel anything anyway.
No. You got that? Where'd you get the where'd you get the razor to the hand?
In Slovenia. It was Yugoslavia back then, you know. Ljubljana.
Fuck.
Plando, you know. I mean, the guy. I mean, how does that impress your girlfriend?
I can't wait to see fucking Lemmy tonight.
Yeah, and hurt him.
I'm going to shank him with this fucking razor blade rock.
Yeah, what was that for? You know.
I don't know. Like,
Dee Snider once said he went to see Led Zeppelin at Madison Square, and there's two kids in front of him with a 6-pack of beer, right? And they drank that, and then one of them said, and they love Led Zeppelin. They were talking, you know, can't wait to see. And one of them said, "I bet I could get Jimmy from here." Just matter-of-factly, you know, like
yeah.
some sort of scorecard or something. I got 3 Jimmy Pages, you only got 1 Robert Plant.
Right. Do you have people who ever challenge you?
No, really, no. It's funny, I thought I would have, you know. Especially in the States, you know, they're more combative, really.
Really combative over here.
Usually, but like, I haven't had it yet.
Like, you're pretty much revered.
It's funny, that.
People don't fuck with you.
Maybe, I don't think it's revered, it's just that I look like this, you know. I think it's fear, you know. Abject terror. I don't know what it is.
Did you get any scraps?
I have noticed it, though. It's funny.
But back in when you were starting out, like when you're in the bands,
I got a pool cue broken over my head once.
But I was just wondering because, yeah, like I get challenged
Like, that's that kind of show.
But then
John.
again, I'm not Lemmy.
It's that kind of show, John.
Yeah. I was in a bar in Amsterdam, and 2 guys come up and take their margaritas and throw them in my face.
Oh.
And I was like, motherfucker. And so I punched both of them in the nose a couple of times, and they didn't get angry. They just looked real sad. And I started...
did you react to
Then
that?
I hit him in the face twice, and they was like... And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And they're like, we thought you would like it. And they got real sad and walked away. Then I felt like an asshole. Because they got
like
sad.
An asshole. Good manners cost nothing.
Yeah, so it's funny how like that's. I was like, I felt bad afterwards.
Well, see, in a way, it is your fault, you know.
Well, thanks for the support,
you have
Lemmy.
Run up the flagpole, haven't you? I mean, and said, "Hey, I like being hurt." Right? I mean, there's a hell of a job to do every day, you know, or every week or whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's.
Is it a job now?
I should have went to school.
You should have went for the butchery class, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
That's anything other than what
Fire
I chose.
with an axe.
Anything with 1 ball, 2 folds, or 3 stooges.
No, that's the people I admire, the 3 Stooges.
Yeah, they were great.
No safety net, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were great. I loved Curly. I didn't like Shemp that much.
No.
I didn't like Curly Joe. It's all Curly.
Yeah, Curly. He was the best.
Yeah.
Him and Mo, right?
They,
Why you? That's all he ever said, Mo. Why you? see this? It's not a packet of cigarettes, actually. It says deluxe condoms. Not only are they lubricated, right, they're flavored. Flavored?
When you talk to guys in Metallica, I mean, your name comes up all the time. Motörhead comes
Still?
up. Absolutely. Absolutely.
My word. How gratifying.
When did you first meet the guys?
Well, Lars was the president of our West Coast fan club one time. There's only him and his mate in it, I think. You know, he came down, let's say, about 1978 or 9. No, it would have been after that. It would have been 81, I guess, when I first met him. We were down at the old Beverly Sunset Hotel, which is now gone. It's a parking lot for Tower. And he came in with his friend, you know, tried to match us drink for drink, which is a foolish thing to do when you're about 14, you know. And he suddenly said, could I go to your room a minute? And I said, yeah, all right. And he went in there and he, very genteel manner, vomited all down his front. So I mopped him up and sent him back out again, you know, poor little devil. But I mean, that's how long I've known him, yeah, a long time.
Was he a starry-eyed kid? Was he very into the metal thing?
Yeah, he was. And that's like we all were, you know. I mean, I was into rock and roll, he was into whatever, you know. Whatever fires you up is good.
What was when they? What was the scene like then in terms of the music scene? You know, it was a little different in terms of orientation of rock and roll.
It was different in quality for a start, I'll tell you that. Bands in those days were bands, they worked the road, you know. These days, a lot of bands don't work the road at all. They just make records, which is, to me, 5 guys going in the studio and chumming up together for a while every year, you know. That ain't a band. A band has to be working. Has to prove itself in front of an audience, otherwise it's not a band.
They did that?
Oh yeah, Metallica did that. Up the ass, man. Metallica played a lot of shows, you know. And a lot of low dives, you know. You can find their magic marker all over the place, you know.
They, I think when you look back at their career, no radio play, no music, I mean, for the first...
Same as all of us,
yeah.
In this genre, you know. I know you guys don't have, you know, like, the heavy metal hour. That was the only show we had, right? Headbangers Ball. And they dropped that. And what did they replace it with? Game show. Right on, guys. That's indiscriminate broadcasting for you. I'm afraid I think MTV has largely come to be the thing it set out to fight. And I think it's a shame, you know.
I think VH1's trying to, in that absence, trying to create, they don't know what to do yet, but they're trying to create something.
They're still the same company, don't they?
Absolutely. That, Nickelodeon, and about 3 others.
I remember me and Dee Snider went upstairs at MTV and threatened to get him physical violence if he didn't play our new single. When Dee had his own show, they pulled his show shortly after that. May have had something to do with the incident, yeah. Well, what you going to do? Dee Snider's still going, that guy's fired.
I got a bad reputation. I don't care, I get my share. Don't feel no desperation.
seen James perform live? How would you typify him?
They invited me on stage at Lollapalooza a couple of years back. That was funny. I go on stage and they're all like this. I said, oh, guys, you know, Jesus. Rise, you know. I dubbed the... I had a good time. I wouldn't sing it, though, because it was their show, you know. They did a good job at my birthday party, you know.
Talk about the birthday party. Was that a surprise?
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to do that. I knew they were coming. But they're all got wigs on, dressed as me, like with bullet belts on and a tattoo on the wrong arm, all four of them. And Lars removed his wig early in the show because he gets very warm, you know. But otherwise, Jimmy looked more like me than I do. I went on stage and watched Jason nearly blow his lung out trying to sing We Are the Road Crew, you know. Because I was with the guy who sang it originally standing next to him, must be very fraught, you know, like he's trying to overcompensate, you know, nearly blew portions of lung out there. But they did a very good job. They did 45 minutes of our old songs, you know, which is obviously what they did when they first started, you know.
Actually, yeah, that was the whole thing. They didn't have their own songs, so they played what would be, you know, considered more obscure stuff that's still,
yeah,
you know,
still obscure today, even as we speak. They write good songs now, though. I mean, I saw them at Lollapalooza. I thought they were incredible. I thought they were unstoppable, just great. Great band, professional, you know.
On the musical side, what are the ingredients to make for great, heavy music?
Well, first you've got to believe it, you know, because that's the first thing a crowd finds out. They can sense that, you know. If you just go around going, guys, you know, won't wash mostly. Some people have got it off to be a good con man, but you know, not many. And the other thing is you've got to be loud. Heavy music has to be loud. What's the point of soft, heavy music? You know? I mean, if you want soft music, you can listen to a myriad of other people, right? You don't need us to do that too. And all this unplugged stuff, you know. So, I mean, we wrote them on acoustics, guys. You know, you don't sit down with the guitar turned up full and hammer it when you're writing a song, you know. So, I don't know, yeah, you have to, it has to be a presence too. You have to have charisma. Because what you're playing, your vocals are very often inaudible, unless you're at such a height you can afford massive PA. So, you know, I mean, they don't come to listen to the perfect sound. They get that on the album. They come for the event, right? So the charisma is the event, and to a large extent. But the only people with charisma don't know they got it, you know, which is one of the last great things, you know.
That's cool.
Go ahead! Shh! He's on!
Evening, voters. Some people in this country are very, very rich, but most of you are very, very poor. Skin! You know why? Because you're all lazy,
They say music is the food of love. Let's see if you're hungry now. Take a bite. Take another, just like a good boy would. Get a sweet thing on the side. Home cooking on the side. Side order, could be a daughter. Finger licking good. Come on, baby, eat the rich. Put the bite on the son of a bitch. Don't mess up, don't you give me no switch. Come on, baby, and eat the rich. Come on, baby, and eat the rich. Sitting down in a restaurant, tell the waiter just what you want. Is that the meat you wanted to eat? How would you ever know? Hash browns and bacon strips. I love the way that you lick your lips. No fooling, I can see it drooling. Feel the hunger grow. Come on, baby, eat the rich. Put the bite Eat salad or scum or grease. You're on the shelf, you eat yourself. Come on and bite my bone. Come on, baby, eat the rich. Bite down on the son of a bitch. Don't mess around, don't you give me no switch. Come on, baby, and eat the rich. Come on, baby, and eat the rich. Sitting here in a high tuxedo. You wanna see my bacon torpedo?
And when I go home, I just tune straight in, you know.
But I haven't got a satellite dish. It's a real bum.
I'm a pretty great dick on the roof, am I? So I can't get him, can I? But you can, can't you? What did you ever do to this?
No, what can I do with this man?
Nothing.
I find it very similar to England. Stop doing that, else I want to nut you.
Anymore, boys and girls.
Now, where were you when you found out that you were nominated for a Grammy?
Where was I? In my house, half dressed I was. Cast my fate to the winds.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Useless.
In terms of lyrical content for your music, is there a prerequisite? Does it have to be storytelling about a certain subject?
No, that's not. There isn't no rules. You make up the rules as you go along. If you've got control. I mean, if the record company is coming in the studio telling you what to play, that's very expensive for you because they want the money back later, and it's also very detrimental to your original idea, you know, because they don't know anything about music. They work in an office. I know about music. I don't go in the office until I'm out of hire secretaries, right, you know. So don't come in the studio and mess with me, you know.
Do you think that with both your and their career that's been the case of basically masters of your own fate, masters of your own fate, not a lot of interference?
Yeah, master of your own destiny. Yeah, I think so. I'd like to think so. I don't see any change in them. I mean, they've tried to change their music a bit, but you have to if you're going to survive. You have to explore different avenues, you know. I mean, if it doesn't work, you must go back and do another one, you know, within the thing you do, right? Because we never made an album that sounded like a recycle of the last one. In my head, anyway. I mean, I know it wasn't. You know, it might sound that to a layman. I don't know. I can't get in that place, you know, because I'm in this place.
Do you get slammed? I know they get slammed for selling out and changing and not being the same every time out.
Well, yeah, you get that, but that's from people who wouldn't know their ass from their elbow anyway. You know, that's people who want they want to be 16 for the rest of their life, and they want the background music to stay the same too, right? And I can't do that for them, you know, because time goes by. You can't stop it.
You can't even slow it down.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, for something to see the light. You again. I know you got a bad late on 10. Listen up. I wouldn't swap you for $1,000. Come on, you're the one. I think I'm gonna sit till later on. I got the medicine you need. Got the power, I got the speed. Find out how to stop your clock. So ain't talking, Dr. Smith. Talking, Dr. Rat, lay down, turn around. I got the system on to sit you down. Shut up, breathe in. Here come the answers of your next of kin. Chin up, shoulders back. make a murder so sad. Keep still, take your pill, or I wanna make you really ill. I got the medicine you need. Got the power and got the speed. I know how to stop your glut. Sure ain't talking, don't just smut. You hear me talking, don't you run. Please, try to separate the cowardly bees. This way, you gotta make the only chance you ever got to get away. Here we are, words and scar. Don't like it, I've never seen so far. Baby, the doctor of philosophy. I got the medicine you need. Got the power and got the speed. Find out how to stop your glut. Sure ain't talking, don't just smut. Hear me talking, don't you rock.
Cool, sure of ourselves, big, virile, ambitious, but fair. You know the kind of things we have to put up with just to be on TV. I mean, in here, it's now roughly the same temperature as at the equator in the Amazon basin, right? Look at this, soaked to the skin. How can I possibly go on stage in this condition? I don't believe you had much fun that day.
No, I don't think so either.
Mind you, Michael Jackson could tell him a few things about that. Pepsi, phoomp.
I've seen that film, man.
I've never seen it, you know that?
Oh, he's, whatever the publicist or the press dictated, it wasn't half of it. I mean, he's enveloped.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Richard Pryor.
Burn over here, yeah, like a Richard Pryor. It was pretty sad. I don't think he was real happy about it. He must scream.
Well, you wouldn't be, would you? You'd think to yourself, it's too warm in here.
Did you know Cliff?
Yeah.
Can you talk about Cliff? What kind of guy was he?
He was just like a good time guy, you know. He was pretty amiable, you know. He drank a lot, you know. But I mean, in those days, Metallica's reputation was like not musical. I mean, they spent months in England doing an album, the first album, and they mostly, I don't know when they ever recorded, because I saw them all hours of the day and night in the boozer, you know, like shit-faced, as the newt, you know, as we say. I don't know when they were ever sober enough to record. It must have taken them ages. But Cliff was well into, the odd pint and that, of whiskey or whatever. I like Cliff, he was all right. I like Jason too.
Were you around Jason when he was first joined the band?
Yeah, I met him. He was like, it's like that new singer with Priest, you know, all their dreams just came true, which is a great thing, you know. You don't get much of that.
I know they kind of gave him a hard time because it was some sort of rite of passage.
Well, you got to hate him a bit, you know. I mean, you can't just leave him join and be a star right away, you know. You got to knock him down a bit, send them for a few cans of striped paint, you know, or a skyhook or something. Usual stuff, you know. They did that to me at a factory. I went and go and get me, what was it, a left-handed claw hammer. I'm up there at the stores, you know. Have a left-handed claw hammer, please. Hang on there, son. There all morning. Slowly dawned on me. I wasn't as quick in them days. They say you get slower as you get older, isn't true?
How long, and this is more just a speculative thing, how long can they do what they do?
As long as they want to.
I mean, as long as they want to, being the operative word. Because if they don't want to, you'll know, you know. People start leaving when it fucks up anyway, you know.
Okay, I'm going out now.
Not like that, you're not.
You look like a juvenile delinquent.
One word, sum up heavy metal for us.
Noise.
Let's run that fucker down again. I can't help it, I got a quiet voice, you know, so I have to force it to get it across, you know. Because when we first were rehearsing, we didn't have any microphones because we couldn't afford them, you know. The studio, we could only afford the room. So we were just playing and I had to hear myself what I was doing, you know, so I had to push it so hard. I just kept doing it. I say things that only dogs can hear, you know. Get a load of dogs outside the stage door after, you know. My future plans are to get much, much older before I die and have as much fun as is possible given my age. Thank you. Listen, Santiago, you have been a wonderful fucking audience tonight. We thank you. I will play here any fucking time. Thank you. I don't know how to say thank you to all of you guys. Thanks. Don't forget us. We are Motörhead. And we play rock and fucking roll.
Overkill! Overkill! Overkill!